All right, so we're here talking to Trevor, one of the 4 horsemen of the Zelda Dungeon Informer Marathon. How you doing, Trevor?
Good. It's good to do this interview. I was really excited to do it.
Being a 4 horseman means that you've been to every marathon. Quite a prestigious group of men. The greatest group of men.
The greatest.
So how did you become affiliated with ZD at the time leading up to the first marathon? Like, how long had you been working with Moss and the site?
Oh, man. It's been, I don't know, like 7-8 years now.
Wow.
When I was first brought on to do work for Zelda Dungeon, it was to do YouTube Zelda news content, a video format that did not last very long.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
And then we tried to do like countdown videos, and then we kind of ran out of creative juices with that. And that was back when I was like doing tons of editing. I was really super into highly producing video content. I'm starting to get the itch for it again, which is really weird, but yeah, that's how I basically got my start. I did the live event coverage at Nintendo World. We ended up like doing the Ocarina of Time 3D launch and the Skyward Sword launch.
Cool.
Unfortunately, I didn't have time I couldn't get down there for Breath of the Wild, but you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of fun experiences there. I got to do some video bits with Comedy Central and Viacom. That was really awesome.
Well,
and I was privileged to have my gameplay of Skyward Sword end up in their final cut.
Well, that's really rad.
Even though they couldn't use any of my interview content because I was wearing a Zelda Dungeon shirt the entire time.
Oh, really?
And they're like, "Oh no, we can't use any of this content because you're wearing a copyrighted logo on your shirt." I'm like, no, it's all right though. They're like, no, we can't because it's using the Zelda font. I'm like, no.
Sounds like a bunch of squares.
Yeah, so we signed a release, and at least we knew that like some of the content got in there, so that was good.
That's still cool.
Yeah, I don't know. They might have. I never saw the final content, so they might have actually just naughty bits the logo off.
Do you remember like when or how you switched from doing that kind of stuff to what you do now? Or
so it was kind of the Wild West of Twitch back then, and they're like, oh man, all these video game marathons are popping up, and it's like everyone's trying to do something different. And we kind of said like, hey, let's do a video game marathon. Like Zeldathon was the thing, but like they weren't doing every game, every marathon. And we made it very much a thing where we wanted to play every single Zelda game in a marathon, start to finish, no compromise. So that's what we set out to do.
That's awesome.
And from there, we kind of built it up. And it's like, all right, how do we top that? And then the next year, how do we top that? And our shtick has kind of been, let's get more players playing the games and see how far we can push the production. And now we're at a point where it's like, okay, maybe we're at maximum marathon.
But we still managed to keep pushing it.
Yeah, we're really pushing it this year. I'm super excited about some of the things we're doing this year. I'm actually taking a little bit of a step back this year in particular. I'm doing more of like the logistics planning, and we're spending a lot more time on making the stream tech happen this year, so that way there's less confusion, less issues with people kind of figuring that stuff out when I'm not awake.
Well, yeah, you almost kind of have to with how wild it has gotten.
Yeah.
Where you just have to have some like people who that's their job to do that.
Right. I mean, Blake has done a great job of stepping in and kind of filling in the gaps when I'm not there, and that's fantastic. And Kevin's been stepping up more, and we have a few other people that have been kind of poking in here and there. Locke's been a fantastic help in doing a lot of the menial stuff and some of the real back-end stuff that you guys don't get to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I used to be able to take all the credit. Now I try not to take any credit because I think the team has just done such a fantastic job of picking up where I've left off.
Yeah, they do a great job, but it all really, I don't think it could come together.
It's a team effort.
Yeah. So actually in Moss's video, we kind of referred to the first marathon as, let's just get together and play video games, because that was sort of the vibe.
That the probably the maximum part of that marathon where like we kind of hit peak. What are we doing? Was when Moss pulled out Rob. And we started playing Gyromite on stream for legitimately like, I don't know, I think it was like a half hour.
Yeah, but that really speaks to what the marathon is like, is that we had Rob.
It is nuts. It is nuts. And we're so excited to try to bring more of the crazy side to other social media platforms this year. So like we did the Snapchat last year. We had Facebook live streams last year. And that's all coming back. We're going to be expanding it and doing more of it. If we get this setup we want this year, we'll have actually like a dedicated like secondary space for like hangouts and interviews. So we'll be able to kind of push that up to social media and do that stuff there.
Well, yeah, the past couple years at the house we've been at, every year there's been like a new part of the house that's been
always
available.
Under construction. Like year one, we were at Moss's parents' house and it was great. It was fantastic, but the space is a little tight. Like we didn't have the run of the house to do what we want.
Mm-hmm.
Year two, we went down to Mississippi. That might have been the biggest disaster when it comes to logistics.
Oh yeah,
no working shower and the Mississippi heat was getting to us pretty bad. Like you couldn't go outside. It was that bad.
That's miserable.
Year three, we were back at the original location. It was good, but again, we thought we could go bigger from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then years 4 onward, Moss got a new house, and that's where we kind of planted our feet and said, okay, we can definitely make this work. So
yeah, and year 4, it was like we could like the basement. There was no basement.
The basement wasn't done, and
then year 5 we had the basement. But now this year there's this room actually that we have filmed the videos in. So we have this whole extra space. So
that's where you've been filming the videos from. Was that extra space?
Yep, this room I'm
great.
Currently in.
So it is the year of killing memes. That meme is dead now. Yeah, we plan on actually using both rooms for some of the bigger races, just because we don't want to stack people on top of each other like we did last year.
Yeah, even with having
we have an absurd number of camera inputs this year, so we're using them.
So even though that first year was the vibe of let's get together and play video games, like I can imagine from your point of view, it totally wasn't that though. Like you had to do a lot of tech work, I take it, right?
Yeah, it was a week of, okay, I really hope this shoestring and duct tape production holds up.
I guess that's I still like that almost DIY kind of vibe of it.
And it always will be there. Year 2, I actually shipped my computer to the Marathon house.
That is wild.
Yeah, it was almost a complete disaster, but thankfully things held up and the hard drives didn't die until I shipped it back home.
Oh, well, that's still not good.
It was all right though.
Yeah,
I actually took the hard drives on the plane with me. The when we went to the new house and I brought my computer again, I actually put it on carry-on luggage, and that got it was perfectly fine going through JFK. Chicago, they wanted nothing to do with it. They're like, no, what is this? What is in the box?
Oh yeah, any sort of weird electronics. It's a red flag.
Yeah. They didn't like my iFixit screwdrivers either.
So we kind of covered how your workflow or your workload has like exploded over the years. But you obviously still have time to have like fun. I mean, I'm sure you have fun doing the tech.
More time than ever to actually have fun. Like I plan on actually doing more stuff outside of the stream and sleeping. Or sleeping next to the stream because...
Just, Trevor, wake up. We need you.
There was a point last year where I just literally had a pillow and a blanket set up, just right in the middle of the stream setup.
Well, okay, so outside of being woken up for games and having major tech problems, do you have any positive memories over the last years?
Actually, yeah. I mean, most of them kind of center around like me playing Twilight Princess, which is kind of like been my game. But there's there's so many games that we've played that have just been so much fun. Like we get to play Tetris Trackers, which is the Japanese Four Swords minigame in the Japanese version of Four Swords Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you don't get to do that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like to have that setup is just incredible. It's like, wow, I'm playing something that I can't play anywhere else.
Yeah, I remember having that feeling. It actually happened before the first marathon, but it continued over the first time I played, the CDI games. And
yeah, those too. Like it's such a fun stream. Like when we had Tom late at night, it's like he was just so into playing it, and I'm like, I want to be part of this. I want to be on the commentary couch to talk about what we are experiencing here, because quite frankly, it's not just a game; it's an experience to play those games.
Yeah, because with like Tetris Trackers, it's like it's so chaotic, and you're not quite sure what's going on at any time. So it's kind of got this wild vibe to it. And then with the CDI games, it's just like I don't even know. It's like one of those things. Like it's a car crash.
It's a perpetual. Yeah, it's a car crash in slow motion, and you can't look away.
It's like, what am I witnessing right now? But those are games.
It is so much fun though.
All those side games and rare games are games that I used to like read about on Zelda Dungeon and other sites, and being like, wow, I wonder what those games are like.
Who let these through?
Yeah, I feel like it's so special that that we highlight those. Twilight Princess, you've had great memories over that, but probably not year one. I would suspect.
It's funny. Somebody drew a comic, and I don't know if you could pull this up in post or not, but somebody actually drew a comic of that whole circumstance.
Really?
And yeah, it was actually pretty great. It was actually my profile picture on social media for like a solid year.
Okay.
And I forget who drew it, but if you're watching this, like, thank you so much. That was so awesome. Yeah, that was that was a lot of fun. Like, even though like it ended up being like a crappy race, like the fact that I was like actually on pace the first time to beat Caleb, and then it just crashed again. I'm like, all right, I give up. Let's get a new disc.
Was it last year?
Last year was the second year of our big TP HD race, and the first year we did Twilight Princess HD with the massive amounts of players. Like, the setup was insane. It was a 3-4 hour setup.
Jeez.
And that took so much out of me. And then I ended up taking over for Vic.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was so awesome. So you are still also playing games this year.
Yes. I am currently booked on 2 or 3 main games. Twilight Princess HD, Ocarina of Time 3D, and possibly the game in my background, provided I can put some time into it. Because I know one Mr. Mosley is looking for his match.
That's a first-time race, isn't it?
Yep. I'm trying so hard to do it. I have so much. I do a lot of work outside of this and my regular job with my company Gen Game, but I'm trying to find some extra time to just sneak in a couple runs of the game to at least not have my head buried in a map the entire time.
I guess out of those, what are you most excited about?
I am most excited for the Skyward Sword race, actually.
Skyward Sword, okay.
Which I believe I'm on a team for. I kind of just said, I just blindingly said, yeah, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah, I think there's a good number of people who that was their extent of agreeing to play it.
It has a beautiful soundtrack. So at the very least, if we're getting blown out, we could enjoy the music.
I think this one it's most people I talk to are like the Twilight Princess, most looking forward to that. But I do think
Twilight Princess is going to be insane.
But I do think Skyward Sword has a lot of potential this year.
Oh yeah, it's a race of, what are we doing? Is it 3 teams of 3 or?
I think so. Yeah. I think though it does have potential to be like one of the really good ones this year, just because of the nature of it is a bit more it's got that wackiness instead of, one person running.
Yeah, it's not going to be a serious race at all. It's going to be it's Cannonball Run. Breath of the Wild's going to be insane too. I don't know how much has been divulged about that.
In Blake's video, he revealed how it's going to be run, and it's
good. Yeah, that's going to be a ton of fun.
I had to have someone else explain it because I sort of get it, but I can't explain it. That's how wild it is.
While I'm not playing it, I will be hosting it. So you will have my shenanigans on the mic the entire race.
Awesome. You always do great on commentary, I think.
If some people think I just have this great commentary voice, I just do it because I enjoy doing it. And I think that's a role I can fit very well. And that's going to be a very technically involved game. So having me on the Switcher will definitely go a long way in making that look as fun as it is.
And the style of race we're doing for that is so perfect just because that game is...
It's so open-ended. I'm still going through and trying to do all the shrines on that game still.
Still making your way through it.
Yeah. Seriously, Nintendo really knocked it out of the park with that game. It's such a fun game to play and just to zen out to for like an hour or two at a time. It's very digestible. Like you start it up and I want to go here. Oh, all right, I'm there. They made it a very approachable game in terms of the way you can move around the map.
Yeah.
You're not restricted. You don't have to do anything special. It's like, I want to go from one corner of the map to the other map. There are 3 different ways you could do it.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's a game you could play for hours and hours, but if you wanted to play it for like 15 minutes, it's still digestible in small bits.
When I was playing the game through my initial playthrough, I only had like 15 to 30 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do a shrine. Okay, I'll go do another shrine. It's like, okay, great, I'm up to the Divine Beast, or the side quests leading up to the Divine Beast, and just kind of go and take it a little chunk at a time. It was designed, in my opinion, to be the most digestible game ever.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which is hard for an open world game because it's just like you got so much going on and it's like, okay, what do I do next? And this game's like, all right, you're good. Here's your quest log. They did a great job laying all that out. So, long story short, Breath of the Wild is going to be an insane race. Looking forward to it. Twilight Princess, I'm looking forward to I don't even know if we determined seeding yet, but I think I'm the 3 seed or the 2 seed.
Yeah, you're up there for sure.
I'm up there, so I will get to kick back, crack a cold one open with the boys, and wait it out.
Yeah, I think I'm on the total opposite end of that. I'm like one of the lower ones. So.
You're the first one out of the green room then.
Yeah, so I don't get as much chill time, but I get a spotlight. So
yeah.
How do you feel about like when you're going to be coming in and there's already going to be like 6 other people?
I am going to be flustered. Let's be honest. I am going to be so worried and panicked because all these other people have been actually practicing the game and I haven't been.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So I am absolutely terrified I'm going to have like a ridiculously bad time. Like my cold run on stream, I think it was like 8 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay, so
somewhere around there.
Not quite what you're used to.
And I know that I can get better than that. So that's my goal, is to try to crush that 8-hour mark. I think with a couple optimizations and a few less derp moments, we can definitely do it.
Yeah, I think you've already kind of done this though, like that one year where you took over for Vic. Wasn't he like way behind?
Oh yeah, it was. I want to say I started at the end of the Forest Temple, so I was about a dungeon and a half behind. I think I want to say Josh was just entering Lake Bed at that time. So I mean, Goron Mines is the shortest dungeon in the game, so it's really half a dungeon.
Okay, so this is a bigger gap you're going to be overcoming.
Yeah, I'm going to be literally hours in.
I think that's still going to be so exciting to like watch people.
I'm excited to see how Blake does. Like that's actually, I'm going to be more impressed when he comes in and has to crush all those times. But then again, he does very well on the Wii U version of the game. I did significantly better than him when I was playing the Wii version of the game, just because that's the amount that I put the most time into.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if I can get another run in to make sure that I can just iron out that GameCube layout into my brain, I think I'll be fine.
Oh, that actually seems like a hard obstacle to overcome.
Yeah, it's a mental thing entirely, but it is a very difficult thing to have to reacclimate your brain to going in reverse when you've played the game a specific way over so many years.
Yeah, it's quite the challenge. So outside of just the games we discussed, like what are you looking forward to about this year? Maybe outside of the games you're playing.
I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. It's our one time every year that we get to go and hang out. I'm hoping that we can go ride those go-karts like we tried to last year.
Oh, go-karts. That would be awesome.
I'm definitely throwing down for go-karts. And if there's a way we can tie the go-karting back into the marathon in some way, I am very down.
Wow, this is a groundbreaking idea, I think.
We're doing it. It's going to be live. It is going to end horribly, but it's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, the marathon is great just because it is the time of year.
It's completely unexpected. It is. You don't know what's going to happen next. Everybody's super chill. It's a ton of fun. We play board games off stream, and we try to just be normal people when we're off camera. But
it's cool.
Everybody's got their personality though.
This is the 6th year, and some people have known people longer than that, but in person, most of us have known each other for 5 to 6 years. So
yeah,
that's pretty wild.
And it's always a good time. And I think this year's going to be our highest number of attendees by a few.
Yeah, we're pushing. Not only are we pushing the tech limits, I think we're pushing the limits of the house.
Forget. Nah, we got closets we could stuff people in.
Okay, and we, if it ever comes to it, people can just start sleeping in their cars.
We'll set up tents outside.
I think Benny suggested he wanted to do that.
That's a bad idea.
Because Benny suggested it?
Well, I mean, not only that, but you're going to be eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Yeah, that is an issue. Need some serious bug spray. I think it's going to be awesome, and I look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, I look forward to catching up with everybody and saying hi to you and Moss and the whole gang and have a good trip to Japan and hopefully bring back some cool stuff.
Oh, I will. Thank you.